Hey everyone, Kim here at Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for another Mystery Mystic reading. And this is another Unsolved Mysteries case that we are covering. The new volume 5 of Unsolved Mysteries will be dropping on Netflix on October 2nd. And I am recording this as of September 30th, 2024. Okay, so let's talk about the case of Carnell E. Sledge and Katherine C. Brown, both of which died on June 4th, 2019 in Fairview Park, Ohio. Unsolved Mysteries will be featuring this unsolved murders of Carnell, who was 40 at the time of his death, and Katherine, who was 33. They both arrived at the Rocky River Reservation Park in Fairview Park, Ohio. Both met at a pull-off lot north of the Lorrain Road Bridge. Carnell and Katherine were shot in the head while sitting on the bench alongside the river. Katherine tried to go towards the water and was shot once, and her body fell towards the river's edge. Carnell was shot multiple times in the head. This brazen attack took place a little after 5 p.m. in a spot where passersby were around. The police and FBI have been investigating, but there are no named suspects and no arrests have been made. So now what we're going to do is an opening oracle reading or at least an oracle reading, to get a pulse on the energy surrounding why this happened and who did this to Carnell and Katherine. After the Unsolved Mystery episode airs and I've had a chance to watch it, I will then come back to the reading table for a detailed tarot reading, asking specific questions that arise after hearing potential theories. And my sincerest condolences goes out to the loved ones of Carnell and Katherine, and I do pray for justice and that answers come as a result of this airing of their story on Unsolved Mysteries. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So what we're looking for is information on, was this completely random? Was this targeted? What were the circumstances surrounding? Who maybe, like what happened? Who is responsible? Did they leave on foot or wheels? How did they go undetected? We have a spider, a rat. How did they go undetected? It was like between 5:08 and 5:20 p.m. in a, place where people were at. Okay. Destroy. All right, so I'm going to show you these cards that we have here. We have candle, door, an opportunity. Someone saw an opportunity. Will, spider. Okay. Rat. Flower. Ribbon. And fire. All right, so we have the candle card. We're going to start there. I'm just getting that right here. Okay. When I'm looking at these cards, I'm looking to see if we can get some information on, was this random? Did one or both of the victims know of this other person or who shot them? I'm looking at different clues here. So I'm going to read the cards across this way. Sometimes kitty corner, or not kitty, yeah. Crisscross. Okay. This is someone who felt like they had a hope and a chance. The light. Candle. I'm surprised this hasn't been illuminated to law enforcement, or maybe it has, but they reached a dead end with this path. But the candle card, the key meanings for this card is hope and life and spiritual enlightenment. And I get a sense that the reason also why Carnell and Kate went to this area is because they just wanted to be out together as friends, long-term friends, spending time talking, commiserating, building up hope. Although I will say this, I do know that Kate was upset earlier that day, and I believe may have been seen upset on her phone. So they met up. They had a small window of opportunity to meet up, and that's what they did over, so it's like this is the reason why they met up. The door, they had a brief opportunity to link up before they had their own respective evenings to tend to, their plans, where they were going. But someone else had an opportunity. Someone else with this door card. Now, I see this card and I see multiple meanings. This could be someone who they have, like Carnell and or Kate had opened this door, like at one point to this person that is responsible. And this also could mean that this person who is the perp, they saw this opportunity. Why? Because they may have been following one or both of them with this will card, which means they had wills and I'm sensing a vehicle, not like I guess it could be a motorcycle, but not like a bicycle. We're talking a vehicle. Saw this window of opportunity of them being at the park. Let's talk about the key word to this card is door. Opportunity, right? Choices. Someone making a choice. Also with this card, the will card, is symbolic of someone in this situation wanting to venture on their own, wanting to progress and move on from something. Close one door, open another, and someone wasn't feeling that. We have here spider. This card is about strong and powerful female energies and carefully designing one's life. So it can mean both. It could be maybe Carnell carefully designing his life and trying to distance himself from someone, allegedly. Is someone who gives off, as this card's meaning says, strong and powerful female energies. It could be that this is representing Katherine carefully designing her life. It could be both. But this is an interesting thing to me. Black Widow. Now, we wanted to know a bit of information on, did they know this person who did this? I would venture to say probably yes with the rat card. Okay. Rat's keywords is a traitor or untrustworthy person, a diseased. So let's say, for example, it's a female energy who's a traitor or untrustworthy person, a disease. It's dimming the light for Carnell. Or let's say this is someone who is betraying Katherine. an untrustworthy person. There's a disease. When I hear disease, I hear something that feels chronic. I don't feel like this card would represent stranger, like a stranger attack. It could. I mean, certainly human beings can betray the other and be untrustworthy, and a disease to society, for sure. But I'm getting the sense this is saying this is something intimate here. Someone saw the beauty of the situation of them two at the park. I can literally see Catherine's face like turning dark as she realized what was happening, what was coming up behind Carnell. Someone wanted to destroy them. I'm going to come back to these cards in a moment. But we have the fire card. It's like, I'm going to read off some of the keywords I think are applicable here. It says consuming emotions and utter destruction. This is sitting underneath strong feminine energies. Strong and powerful energies, feminine energies. Rat. Betraying this flower and this gift, this ribbon. And I feel like this could be also signifying what was going on. Like Kate realizing what was happening and registering it. And that's why she ran to the river's edge. And the horror. I wanted to talk a little bit about the flower card. It's about beauty and kindness, gifts. Someone saw this as an opportunity to take away her beauty by shooting her in her face. They could be also feeling like she betrayed. She was betraying, or she was like her and Carnell being in this area in this park, like totally caused somebody to have all-consuming emotions. We have here the ribbon card, which I think speaks to Carnell. Happy times. Somebody wanting to move on to happier times too. The cards are always like sometimes having multiple different things they're speaking on. But happy times, innocence, a symbol of hope, feminine beauty, feminine. Could be female. We'll see. I'm going to be doing I'm feeling like this is going to be a 2-part oracle reading. And then from there we'll do tarot readings after we watch the Unsolved Mysteries episode. But so far what I'm taking away from these cards is there is some sort of connection, strong feminine energy is surrounding this situation, a threat, feeling like maybe even Kate was a threat, or she wanted to also punish by shooting her in her face. This is the ultimate, this person felt betrayed, and this was the ultimate betrayal. So for me, I'm not strongly picking up on this being a random attack. Could be, I could be totally wrong and off the mark. Maybe this is picking up on dynamics around the perps who are in the know. Or perp, one person, but may have help covering it up. But I get a sense that no, this is about someone feeling betrayed in this situation. And yeah, feminine energy, strong feminine energy on wheels, seized the opportunity, was following one or like one of them, and we will do readings to see what else comes out, right? If you've been following me or if you're new, I do readings and we use different decks to further explore what else is coming up. This is an oracle reading. So to that end, I'm going to pause here and pull up another deck. Be right back. All right, so now we're working with the Divine Shadow Self Oracle. And I know some people were thinking that this could be some sort of hate crime. I'm not necessarily picking up on that. We have evasive. Disconnection. Vindictive. Okay, that's the energy I was picking up on. Betrayal. Rat, traitor energy. Someone feeling betrayed and someone feeling vindicated by doing this action, which is wild. Selfishness. Conflicted. Burdens. So someone who's not very stable. Bitterness. Wow. Okay. All right. So evasive. If somebody has been evasive in general, and those who are closest to this, to the victims or to the situation, may know of someone who's come across as highly evasive when you wouldn't expect them to be. So it could be that. It could be that law enforcement has interviewed this person already and they've been evasive, disconnected when you would expect the opposite. This also could speak to before Carnell and Kate were shot, the disconnection of someone should have raised like alarm bells because they have been so like a part of one of their lives. And what we're going to do, maybe in the next one, in the next reading or the reading after, when I do the tarot, I'm going to see, is it on Carnell's side or on Katherine's side of where this betrayal is coming to or coming from. Okay. But for now, we're just looking at the overall overarching energies and what's going on here, because it helps me to connect the dots later when I do use tarot. So we have disconnection, vindictive. Somebody was feeling hot and very vindictive, very wanted to be punitive. And when you get a word like vindictive, they harbored ill feelings. And I sense that there may be some sort of text messages or evidence of that. Like Carnell may have talked to Kate about it or vice versa. This also can represent somebody later feeling vindicated from the shooting deaths of Carnell and Katherine. Someone feels vindicated by it because they think that this rights a wrong, a betrayal. And this all could be perceived betrayal. It may not even be in actuality. Here's the thing, from all accounts, Carnell and Katherine were friends. They were just friends. They were friends for 10 years. They lived about 10 minutes away from one another. And that's what it was. I mean, they had significant others on and off through those 10 years. So I think that law enforcement really needs to look closer to their intimate partner situation, allegedly, right? Someone who feels betrayed. Selfishness, someone who could have felt like one or both of them, the victims, were selfish, or maybe this person who's not only evasive, but also just by nature seemingly selfish. Like you may start, the person that I'm sensing who did this may even come off as selfish to people that know this person. They're selfish, total selfishness. conflicted and then afterwards being disconnected after the deaths. But before, they were all up in the mix, but now they're not. There was a lot of conflict before their deaths with this person. I feel like there was heavy burdens, like with the victims carrying this. We know that Katherine was upset, but I feel like it may not just be her that, needed to just kind of touch base. It was also Carnell. We'll keep exploring. We'll keep going. I'll be right back. What is the motive? What is the motive surrounding... Our motives are clues. We may not get the motive, but maybe clues. I want to be clear. Hold on, friends. I'm going to shuffle. I want to be very clear. So give us some additional insights. Maybe perhaps motive, clues on who this might be. What else do we need to know in this opening oracle reading? I want one more, not two. One more. I don't know about that, but we'll see. We have here, perp profile indicates narcissist or sociopath. I can believe it. And if it's a female sociopath, she really can probably fly under the radar. Or can she? Or it could be a male, I suppose. But the perp who is responsible. And there was one card that said money may be involved. I wonder if this was... I don't think so. I don't think it was a hit. If no other cards jumped, then we'll leave it be. But I saw something kind of tip over, and I was like, maybe I should have see if it'll jump again. That's okay. Dating history or killer knew a victim. Yeah. That's what we were talking about up here. Dating histories, intimate partners have key information. Not just information, responsible, allegedly. This case will remain unsolved until key evidence is discovered. Wow. And we'll look at that. That could be another question that I ask down the line with the tarot and oracle reading is, what key evidence? What is the key evidence that could help with this case? We'll even see, moving forward in this video, if any clues stand out. It says additional evidence is at the crime scene. Now, I'm sure they've scoured the crime scene and gotten everything that they could, but it's something about the actual location itself, being like in proximity, close proximity to the perp, or I don't know, there's something about the location itself, the scene itself, that offers an important clue. And I can't quite articulate what that is just yet. It'll come to me. I'm recording this really late at night, trying to keep my voice down. So, yeah, I'll have to sit with that. Wow. You all have to share with me, what do you think so far of the messages that are coming through? I'm going to pause here, take some pictures, move these out of the way so we can get to the Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle. Be right back. All right, so it's the next day, and we're working with the Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle. And tapping into Carnell and Katherine. Clues on who did this, what may have happened. We have wooded area, certainly. Certainly. Cell phone. This could give us key evidence, or somehow a cell phone plays a role. Hired help. I wonder what the hired help could be. Mountain. Private property. Wooded area, private property could be maybe where the gun is, or cell phone. That was, you know, you think you turn off the tracking, and some people are successful in social media in turning it off, but it can be tracked and there could be evidence, and so getting rid of the cell phone is also probably a good idea. We have jail or imprisonment. Aiding and abetting. Liar, lies, lies in wait, lying in wait. Okay. That's interesting to me. Suffocation. Somebody was feeling suffocated in this situation. Human trafficking. I don't know what that could mean. Video, audio surveillance. Murder for hire. Cult or groupthink. It's an interesting card for this reading. Breakup or divorce. Parent. Okay. So let us go through these cards here. The first card that we have is wooded area, is over the private property. So we know that this was a park, it says a reservation area, a park. There's a park bench, a river. I don't know if that's considered private property, or that maybe key evidence is in that area. A gun being discarded, the cell phone here being discarded, or key information of linking people's timelines to see if there's overlaps with them being near or in the general vicinity of this, where this occurred, this crime occurred, where they lost their lives. This also could be that there is private property where it's owned by someone, the suspect or the perp, who has private property or access to private property. And it could be a wooded area. But I remember earlier in the reading, I got a sense that the crime scene itself holds like the key. Maybe it houses the weapon. Maybe there's something about the proximity to that place and the suspect, or the one who did this, the perpetrator. Okay, so got that. You all let me know what you think the wooded area and private property. I suppose it could be that the person initially darted off and hid in the wooded area until it was safe, but that doesn't feel right to me, because wouldn't the law enforcement at that point, once they got there and locked down people for witnesses and try to talk to people, I would imagine they would try to stop or question people. So my thinking is that the perp got out of there before. But maybe the wooded area and private property, speaking, they hid somewhere until it was safe to move, about and get up out of there. We have cell phone, social media, and we talk a lot about cell phones in all of these readings, and there's a reason for that, because it is a means of tracking GPS, right? Your GPS is tracking is on. There is also messages coming back and forth, phone calls, Google searches, social media engagement. All of that is housed on those little smartphones. Remember, they used to call them smartphones. That there's a reason for that. So that is why cell phones time and time again come up, because they are usually attached to someone. Even burner phones. We saw that with the Veronica Butler case, and is it Jillian and Veronica. I covered that on Mystery Mystic Mondays. And burner phones still can somehow be tied to someone if they're not careful in how they procure said burner phone. So phones are going to be at issue, or phones hold key evidence. Social media also does that tracking. You know how, like, when you hitting all those agreements and allowances when you first add an app, allowing them to track you, allowing them to do that. So you're in effect signing up for that, which is whatever, that's what we do. But that tracks information. So there could be some key information with a key player in this. And I would imagine law enforcement has gone down that angle. I'm sure. We'll see what Unsolved Mysteries says about what law enforcement has done so far in terms of the people. And it sounds like they don't have any persons of interest that they have named. There's no suspects. Back to the reading. Cell phone, social media. Social media could have DMs going back and forth. Also, I'm sensing somebody leaving weird comments, replies to posts that are questionable. There's evidence of constantly looking at one of the victims, or even both of the victims' social media to track where they might be at or where they might be going. Now we know what we know in 2024, but back in 2019, a lot of us were just, saying, okay, we're going to be here, we're going to be there, we're meeting up over here, over there. And I would say that we were all trying to be cautious, but not probably to the level we are in 2024 about being careful how you share your location, or who you share it with, or who you've given access to your social media to in the past, not keeping track of who has access. So that being at play later down the line, when it comes out, when more of the story comes out about who did this heinous crime. We have hired help and murder for hire. Okay, so we have two cards that indicate some level of hiring. Now, this could be minimal hiring, like I got an Uber from point A to point B. I hired someone who unwittingly cleaned up something for me, took something to the cleaners, or I hired an attorney. Did somebody close to the situation lawyer up quickly? That doesn't necessarily in and of itself make them it doesn't make them a criminal. It doesn't make them the one who did it, but there's something about the attorney they got. Could be something like that. But hired help doesn't necessarily mean murder for hire. It can, and it could be like these two are amplifying each other, right? But it could just simply be hired help. It could also be someone was hired on recently, like maybe one of the victims hired this person on, because I realized when I made this card I have new hire information. So someone just got hired on, or someone was hired and no longer is hired. Someone was attached, no longer attached. Someone felt like they were on the payroll of some sort, or they were entitled to be in one of the victims, or even both of the victims' personal space, but one in particular. And that will be one of the questions that we pose for the tarot reading when I get to it. So stay tuned for that. Because I want to know which victim did this person come through, right? Like this suspect or perp. Was it Carnell? Was it Katherine? We have here mountain of information. It could mean metaphorically, or it could mean someone now lives by the mountains, or someone who was hired help lives by the mountains, or what I consider a mountain from California. Some people would be like, whoa, like some people consider hills mountains. So I'm wondering if there's a hilly area near where this happened, where Carnell and Katherine lived or died. But I don't know. Mountain could be in the name of a street. It could be Mountain View, like the town in the Bay Area. You know what I mean? So it could have something mountain in the name. We talked about private property. Just again, someone could be on. They could also, I know we talked about it initially, about it being actual outdoor private property, or it could be indoor, a home, a residence. But it also could be like one of them, because we got the breakup or divorce card. Did one or both of the victims, and we'll see this in Unsolved Mysteries, did one of them recently break up with someone who was having a hard time letting go? This is like a wall up. Like, what's sad about this card, if you think about it metaphorically, is private property, no trespassing. One of the victims was like out in the nature, in the wilderness, but still wide open and still accessible, but did not want to be touched. Whereas, what would be more safe is if they had a fence around them, a weapon themselves. They didn't realize the grave danger they were dealing with this person. We have social media. We talked about that. Jail or imprisonment. Now, if this is really someone who later on down the line came and helped, maybe even did the shooting and got in, got out, right? Maybe they're in jail now. They're in prison. Or this could signal somebody will get jail time. Or it could mean that someone who is involved, a key witness, or even the perp themselves, or someone who is who aided and abetted, because this is sitting next to this card, is in jail, but maybe, or in prison, or maybe for something else. Or it could be some sort of alternative program that they're in, some alternative sentencing program that they're involved in that may have nothing to do with this case. So that could be also when this card comes up in readings from my past experiences. Let's talk about the aiding and abetting. So it shows a female and a male. Could be a woman who orchestrated this, got the gun even, and then a man did the job. Or it could be a man who did it and is aided and abetted by a female. Or it could be male and male, female and female, two people. But nevertheless, this suspect had help in planning this crime, committing this crime, covering up this crime. And these people, or this person or people, to some extent probably has an idea, if not outright know that this person is capable of this and probably did it, but they're like, you know, I don't want to get involved. There could be also other people who helped along the way that were unwittingly involved. But there's definitely someone key to it that is that's covering up. Allegedly, it could be somebody's parent. We see that as the last card. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Liar, lies, lying in wait. This is what tells me this over the murder for hire card tells me that this was planned. Like somebody was watching one of the Vicks, followed them, saw them in this picturesque setting, shoots, and then it seems like shoots Carnell first, and then Katherine leaves, trusting that they're not going to be seen. Who has that kind of confidence? I would imagine a crime of passion, and I'm not saying that this couldn't happen, but you'd be like shaking and willy-nilly or cussing, or like if they were trying to accuse Carnell and Katherine of being together, they would utter something that would draw a witness's attention to them. But that didn't happen. There's a level of control here that is just like, whoa, it's out of this world. It's stunning even. It's like, oh my God. So liars, so it could be that someone's been lying. Someone is known to be a liar who is connected with one or both of the victims. This also means that they had lies since their deaths. They've been lying. And then this is also about literally lying in wait. Lying in wait constantly. We have human trafficking. I'm not quite sure what this could mean. I don't know. It could be some sort of like theory that jumps out later. That someone trying to protect certain interests, and maybe one or both of these victims were getting too close, or somebody close to or who's a witness or involved somehow has ties to human trafficking. I don't know. You all let me know what you think this could mean. Sometimes it simply means moving one person to another in exchange for money. Like, did someone have a history of this? I don't know. It doesn't always necessarily mean like the big sex trade, right? But it can as well, because that's what it's titled. Video, audio surveillance. There's record of this crime. Oh, it could be that, hold on. It could be that what law enforcement has is like they saw the side of a vehicle. Can't quite make out the color, can't even quite make out the make and model. But they see it in the surveillance of the area, right? So it could be that, but they don't have a plate number. They've been trying to figure out. They're trying to figure this out. The other thing is like figure out who that vehicle belongs to. Does it belong to this case? Because of the way the angles are, is what I'm picking up on here. The other thing is surveillance videos of surveillance around the victims' residences in the days leading up to and after the crime. Paying close attention. Who was over there that shouldn't be over there, who don't live over there, but it was over there. Paying attention to that. Also, audio. Audio could be audio recorded messages, right? You know, there was Marco Polo and WhatsApp where you can leave voiced messages. Many of the apps you can send voice messages. Telephones, voice messages. So some sort of audio or somebody recording or capturing some audio that may be key evidence down the line. However, audio could represent, and video, I suppose, surveillance too, of police putting this out in Unsolved Mysteries, this case, for exposure, and then watching and listening for who starts to move around and get a little nervous. And who are they calling? Who are they talking to? Who are they talking to? I do believe there was a single shooter, but I do also believe that the aiding and abetting is about someone who, in one shape or way or another, supported the killer. Okay, and that could be what we see here with the cult or groupthink card. Like maybe this is like, it feels almost, like with cults, it's that brain washing, the manipulation. Could be that. It could be maybe one or more of the victims was a part of something that linked them, a group that linked them up with the perp at some point, and that's how this all got set into motion, how they got to know each other. We'll see how this pans out. Could be also people having their impressions of who they think did this or who they think is responsible, and it starts to become like a mob mentality based on the truth or not based on the truth. It doesn't matter. People desperately want justice. In this case, this was heinous. This was terrible. Broad daylight. Two old friends just meeting up in the park, having a quick chat before they head off to the rest of their day or the evening. And this is what happened. So I can understand it. And I know there's also this sense, and I've touched on it earlier, about there could be a race component. I have a card in here, I have a few, that would indicate some sort of hate crime. And maybe it'll come out in the tarot reading, but so far I'm not picking up on that. And I could be going against the grain on that. We'll see what Unsolved Mysteries has to say. All right, because, now before I move on to these last two cards here. With Unsolved Mysteries, you do understand that they are sharing a story. They are trying to keep you engaged to watch the next episode. So the narrative could be skewed a bit. But what I like to pay attention to is, what are the relatives saying? What is law enforcement saying? But more importantly, what are they not saying? Where did they look? What did they do for the investigation? But the different theories and stuff, just be careful because this is going to be on Unsolved Mysteries. And my apologies for the dog barking. I'm recording this during the day, not my preference because of all the commotion. But because it's on Unsolved Mysteries, that could lead to going down a path that we don't want to. So we want to remain objective, right? As objective as we possibly can. A breakup or divorce could be at the heart of this. Parent. A parent wittingly or unwittingly supporting or helping their child. A parent maybe also coming out with key information later down the line. A parent of the victims, a parent of the suspects. But a parent could be key, or maybe somebody didn't want to be a parent anymore. I don't know. I don't know how that ties in, but I just felt the need to say there's different aspects to the parent card. I think my intuition says it could be a parent that knows a lot more than they can share. Perhaps it's one of the victim's parents, and they've been asked by law enforcement not to divulge a detail. And later we come to find out what that is. It could be the parent is helping the suspect, doesn't know or does know, wittingly or unwittingly. It could be someone recently found out that they, may become a parent. I don't know. Or they hear this news and they don't know how to feel about that. We have breakup or divorce. that would imply some sort of romantic situation, right? I would say. Or it could be, I'm firing you. This is a breakup of an employee-employer relationship. This is a breakup of a friendship. Or it could be something significant like a breakup of a relationship or a divorce. Some kind of fracturing in the relationship. All right, so we're going to pause here. I have more decks to work with, so stay tuned for the next part. And we will be doing a detailed tarot and oracle reading. I think I'm going to wait. Well, we'll see. We'll see how much time I have before the episode drops. And then it may be more helpful for me to watch the episode and then do that last part of the tarot and oracle reading after. Let me know what you all think. Should I dive in if I have time to do the reading or just wait? We'll see. My hunch is leaning towards just waiting to see. All right. Do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for tuning in and also sharing your intuitive insights or your hunches, or maybe you've known this case, you've been following it a while, and you can shed some insights and some facts. Let us know if we got anything wrong, right? I want to make sure we have facts, and and this is an opportunity to be educated. All right, friends, take good care of yourselves. Bye for now.